The Marlins, huh?
They're still a thing? They're doing kind of what they have to do, right?
Yep.
Like,
win?
and this is, well, they had to get us through to football season. Like, from championship run to football season.
Even you're checked out now?
It's not that I'm checked out. It's just that
It really did sound like you were checked out.
It's
like
not
when
that
your
I've-
first
no.
words were, "They're still going on." Yeah, it sounded pretty checked out.
You made them seem like a bridge, Billy. Like,
look, guys.
And they
gang,
are.
Friends. It's not that I'm checked out. It's that I've been given these responsibilities that require me to focus all of my attention on football. It's not by choice. Do you think I like football? I hate football. But I have to watch it.
You are the nation's second most preeminent Marlins person.
Well, who's
behind
one?
Marlin man.
No, please, come on. Don't be silly.
I thought you were going to say Craig Mish.
Slater.
There was a big thing this weekend on Marlins Twitter where they needed a sacrificial lamb, and they sacrificed Loud Marlins fan, which I regret even mentioning now because now this will be a thing. Yeah, you don't know Loud Marlins fan?
Not offhand.
Well, I regret bringing him up because he's going to love the attention.
So it wasn't a gag. It's a legitimate Marlin segment. Just making sure.
Billy isn't giving me the quality of material
They're
I
still in
wanted
it,
on
Dan.
the Marlins
Yeah.
by just expressing at every turn a profound indifference about anything in sports.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a profound difference. I'm here. I'm here to talk about. Yesterday I didn't watch the Marlins because even though they did beat up the Phillies, which was a surprise, and they're still half a game out, they're hanging in there. They're gonna make it in. And by the way, if we're talking about baseball,
They're going to make it in.
they're gonna make it in despite me. Yes,
Half game out.
they're half a game out. You don't think they're gonna make it in?
I think
believe
their
in them.
schedule is very hard, but winning
Oh,
2 out of
please.
3 at Philadelphia is good. Okay, enough with the bit.
Well, no, and they took care of business against the Dodgers last week.
They did.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw this. Shohei Ohtani had his whole injury, and then people were saying, you know what, that may cost him like $200 million, right into the Marlins price range. And guess who else is available now? The Angels said that Mike Trout is available if he wants to be traded. The Marlins could have Trout and Ohtani on the team next year and build around that.
All right, I regret going down this path.
Build around that.
Don't you think that would be a
So,
great
Stugotz,
foundation?
this is what the weekend looked like that I am not used to seeing. So that is what it looks like on the same weekend when, for the first time in this century, the college football team and the professional football team both get good offensive line play.
If I could bring it back to Trout and Ohtani real quick for just 1 second.
Please do.
There is very little evidence that is a good nucleus to
But
build
they've
around.
never played with Bell and Berger.
It's a good point, Mike. I mean, they've never played with Bell or Berger. I mean,
Okay, so that's,
the Angels have not surrounded those two guys with the right players. The Marlins have the players. They're already surrounded.
this seems like right place, right time.
Yes.
No, but Dan, seriously, headed into the weekend, it seemed like it was going to be the end of the season because Sandy is now on the IL, Jorge Soler is now on the IL. So you're like, okay, well, their biggest bat is now injured for maybe the rest of the season. Who knows how long he's going to be out? There's only a month left in the regular season. And, you know, he hasn't been their ace this year, but the reigning Cy Young Award winner is now out probably for the rest of the season as well. What are you going to do? So it was kind of like it's been a good run, but they've lost their biggest arm. They've lost their biggest bat. Like, it just seems like it's taking care of
One
itself.
of the things that I enjoy most about the Marlins, I'm not even kidding, Stugotz, even though he's got an ERA near 6 and he can't go more than 4 1/3 because his second time through the lineup, he's doomed. Watching Johnny Cueto, the fumes of what's left of Johnny Cueto, try to pitch by slowing down his motion again and again, Stugotz,
Yep.
to change. It's not just change ups. He's slowing down his motion because he's just nibbling all the time. They're going to have to rely on that and an assortment of patchwork pitching to try and catch all these teams.
Well, it's because the damn Guardians went and claimed everyone.
It's really just one team. It's the Diamondbacks. That's it. It's one team. They're a half game behind the Diamondbacks.
It's not.
It's more
You're not paying
complicated than
attention.
that.
What do you
Yes.
mean?
It's not.
There's like 14
Football.
teams. Still.
Bad analysis by you. Yeah, football. Thank you. So getting back to what happened yesterday,
How many wild cards are there now? I mean, like 5.
the announcer did have trouble the entire game pronouncing Tagovailoa, did he not? The color man? I felt like he was having trouble the entire game with his name. And I don't think that there was a more unifying horror in South Florida watching sports than at the end of that game when everyone's television screens went blue for half a second or a second. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. You know how complicated it is broadcasts are? We can't get our video department here running every day. Do you know how complicated getting an entire broadcast up and running is? I'm stunned that doesn't happen more often, where your screen just goes blue in the middle of what is an important play in the fourth quarter.
It was like a weird noise. It was like excitement and then, ah! Yeah. It was like excitement.
Everyone gasps across the country, I think. That was a game of the day, huh?
Yes,
For sure.
Easily.
What causes that? Is it like a solar flare or something? Like, why does it just stop broadcasting for a second?
Did anyone else like me? You could see that they were getting to him right as it went blue. So I became the know-it-all in my room, and I was like, he got him. I'm telling you. They were right there, and then it showed. Sure enough, it happened.
I was expecting to
was
see
no time for
a
that,
Charger
Chris.
run down the field with the ball, like wide open.
when they came
It
back.
was a split. I know it felt like it was 10 seconds, but it was less than a second.
I'm telling you, though, I was the know-it-all. I was like, I'm telling you, we're fine.
There's no way. And look,
You don't have the time to string out that sentence.
I'm telling you, it was fine.
I'm telling you, I did it.
there's no way.
We're good.
With what Vic Fangio showed us as a defensive genius game one, that you thought this is completely under control.
He needed to stop at the end, and he got one.
Thanks.
The anarchist in Billy is rooting for the screen to go blue, and then Khalil Mack is running down the field with the football, and you don't understand what just happened.
Did he even play yesterday? That's how good the offensive line was. Did not even see him.
He's still playing?
Without Armstead.
Huh.
That was really impressive.
Both teams,
Incredible.
Mike, both the college and the professional team, that's the best offensive line play I have seen. The game is so much easier. It's so much more fun to watch as a fan. The University of Miami and the Miami Dolphins got extraordinary offensive line play. They've got Boza and Mack, and there were no sacks. Now, Tua had great pocket presence. He moved around the pocket well. He was extraordinarily confident. And I will tell you, if you're a Dolphin fan, the reason, Stugotz, they've gone all in and will probably go after Jonathan Taylor, the reason I'm going to tell you right now, it's not because they think they're just a piece away. It's because after all the quarterbacks got paid, the one who played best yesterday was the one the Dolphins have at value. You have to win when you have him at value. You're going to lose a bunch of these players when you have to pay him $200 million. And Tyreek Hill had as good a receiving day as you can have. The Dolphins left points on the field and still had more explosive plays than any team has ever had in a game since 2014. They're running all over the field, Stugotz, because Waddle and Tyreek Hill are running 22 miles an hour. I've seen Randy Moss do that at that Fast Academy with Chris Carter. When he was in his prime, that's what Randy Moss would run, 22 miles an hour. They've got two of them. And they're going to go after Jonathan Taylor because they have to win in the window of Tua. And there is nothing more important this season, nothing, than the offensive line keeping people away from him so he does not get hurt.
They might be able to win without Jonathan Taylor. What's amazing to me about Tua is, first off, he had two of the greatest throws you'll ever see.
He had a bunch of them.
But that throw on the run, the deep throw to Tyreek Hill on that final drive, and then the throw that he threw to him in the corner of the end zone for that touchdown, they were beautiful.
That was a bad throw. I'll go on the record.
What?
I don't
What?
care.
It was
I know
perfect.
It worked out
What?
perfectly.
You could say lucky,
You
but bad.
all-
I said
Bad.
lucky.
You didn't say
is-
bad.
You
you've
all
taken
hated
this
that
too
throw
far.
in the air. You
No.
all hated that throw in the air. It was just like he was covered.
I was hoping. No, I was hoping for a flag. Honestly, I was like, this will just be a PI, and then we'll get it at the one.
He couldn't have been more covered.
He
I
threw
know.
it perfectly.
Which is why it was a perfect throw. What are you doing?
He got so lucky that defender just happened to not move his arm right there.
In addition, though, Dan, to like the line play, one of the things that happened yesterday is something that like we've kind of been hoping would happen is Tua just kind of gave up on some plays and just threw it into the ground. He didn't try. The one play that I remember him extending was the one that he threw on the run, but he wasn't trying to do too much. He wasn't trying to make things happen, which is what's gotten him hurt in the past. And if he can just kind of commit to that and just give up on plays when there's nothing there, then they should be good.
I think we saw yesterday why they shouldn't go after Jonathan Taylor. McDaniel talked about all offseason, we're going to run the ball, and he just doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't either with the pass catchers he has, but they're not going to be a running team.
Well,
I would not spend on Jonathan Taylor.
They do just enough in the running game.
Let me tell you what it is that I find interesting about everything that happened yesterday, because people will talk about Herbert or Tua, and Tua has never had a better day for that conversation than what you saw yesterday, at the end of the game, during the game, all of it, okay? Because whether it's system, players, teammates, Tua looked a good deal better than Herbert yesterday, and Herbert's got some monsters at the skill positions too. But this is what I found most interesting. And I told you guys this last year when I said, when they got off to the real strong start, and I said, I don't care if they lose the rest of their games. The season's already a success. They have found a coach. They have clearly found a coach. In that sport, Stugotz, where games get decided by nothing, the Patriots lost yesterday because they had a receiver who just couldn't get 2 toes in bounds. That game yesterday that went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, what the Chargers did at the end of the first half was a coaching and quarterbacking incompetence I have rarely seen. 14 seconds left. You have the ball. It's 3rd and 7. Herbert rolls out to his right. Go out of bounds and stop the clock. He didn't want to. He stayed in bounds. They called their final timeout, but they called it with 14 seconds left, not with 4 seconds left. They do that. They leave time on the clock for no reason. And then pass interference, because the Dolphins are not just, Stugotz, ballsy enough early in the game to go for it on 4th and 7 from the Chargers 42 or whatever. Every Dolphin coach I've ever seen punts there. Everyone I have ever seen does not go for it on 4th and 7. But with 9 seconds left at your 25, you think you can get points? Get out of here. Like, the Dolphins have never had that combination of things since Marino.
Tyreek Hill is such a special, unique player. Somehow looks slower with those sleeves, though. I'm not a fan. You can't be wearing the Teddy Bridgewater sleeves at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. He's pretty impressive, and I know they got the speed of Waddle and Tyreek Hill outside. It makes everything easier. But you have Crackraft out there running wide open. You have Durham Smythe. Is it Crackraft or Crackraft?
Crackraft.
And you have Durham Smythe running wide open.
I thought it was K-Craft.
Cracker aft.
A lucky throw.
Billy just requested, and this is not something that gets requested very much around here, to put someone on notice.
Oh, I love it.
He wants to put someone on notice, and we will get to that in a second. But the place I was hoping we would wander with the Marlins was to laugh during that Dodgers series that you mentioned at the ball boy employed along the first base line, who
Poor
was
guy.
40 years old.
I felt so bad.
Well, but hold on.
Honest
Hold
mistake.
And I was wondering if it was
Jeez.
Lewis's brother because he
Yeah.
was
Wait a
there.
minute. That guy was so Miami, okay? For me to watch a double go down the line, Freddie Freeman double, Stugotz, and what goes into the corner, I'm expecting to be gobbled up. If it's going to be gobbled up, it shouldn't have been. It's a fair ball by a ball boy. A ball boy. But what wanders onto the field is just very Miami. It looks like it emerged from like a Hialeah gas station.
To be fair, that guy probably does play Little League of Fligami. Yeah.
It was so Miami.
The ball Meng.
It was. Stugotz, the ball is fair. He cost the Marlins a run because, yes, he did. Billy
Mookie would have scored. Mookie's fast.
But no, what I'm saying is they were going to stop him at third for touching the ball. They were going to, and they didn't stop him, correct?
They gave him home, yeah.
His reaction after that was like, you remember in Anchorman after Ron Burgundy says,
"Good show, everyone."
San Diego. Good show. You were sharp.
Was he chewing
On the
tobacco
lights.
or was
Awesome.
that
Yes.
like sunflower seeds? What was going on
He
there?
was spitting something in a dip cup after he did it, too. Honestly, it's about time the Marlins got some interference karma back their way. I'm sick of you guys.
Video, can you please put up for me a photo? I know we don't have the rights. I just want a photo of this person to examine it because I don't think he was wearing baseball clothes either. That's another thing. He wasn't in a uniform. He was just a person, again, with a glove that I would expect to just walk out of a gas station anywhere deep in the heart of Miami.
Is that a requirement for a ball boy that you have to be in a Marlins uniform? Because you're right, he was wearing a T-shirt and shorts.
Well, it's not a requirement, but also it was a grown man. He had the perfect comedic body type and a terrible mustache, and he casually grabs a fair ball and just lobs it into the stands. And it was budget.
The batting helmet.
No, it's so good. It was budget Marlins at their finest, right? Like
But
whatever.
budget Marlins at the finest was you're not allowed to throw the ball into the stands, as David told us.
Fair enough. We will get on the screen the photo of this person and be delighted together when he appears. I'd like to get him on the show. Do we know if he speaks English? Because that's possible that he does not. Or not much.
I don't care. Whatever he speaks. It could be Mandarin. Bring him in.
Any language.
You want him in studio?
Yes.
Right? Yes.
With the batting helmet, preferably.
Stugotz, you understand why Dolphin fans would take that game. Only two teams yesterday looked more balanced than the Dolphins, Dallas and San Francisco. Looked more balanced. But the Dolphins played what was clearly the most entertaining game of the day. In fact, football was pretty bad yesterday. It was pretty...
The 1 o'clock games, that was the worst slate of 1 o'clock games that I've seen. In fact, the games, for the most part, were pretty bad outside of the one game, the Dolphins and Chargers. That game was an all-timer. That was a great game.
It was still amazing. You guys shut up.
Football? You thought yesterday football was amazing?
I loved it.
There's no such thing as bad football.
Every second of it. I literally, during the 1 o'clock games, there was like a collision, and I just said to my friend, I love this.
Sunday night was terrible. You did not like Sunday night.
That I agree.
Sunday night was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was great.
I had the
But
Giants.
I love a bad Sunday night game. I do.
I do too.
Where you
We
go to
got
bed
at
early?
halftime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We all agree.
Yeah.
That's
It
good.
did feel like deja vu watching Dallas do that to the Giants in the first half after I had just watched the Buccaneers do that to the Steelers and the Packers do that to the Bears. Like, there were a lot of blowouts.
The Buccaneers...
The Niners did that
Sorry,
to the
the
Steelers.
Niners.
Yeah, Niners did it to the Steelers. The Buccaneers had the surprising win of the day, I think.
Yeah, the survivor pool special. Like, so many people lost money on the Minnesota Vikings.
It was very confusing. The Vikings, Justin Jefferson started the game Tyreek Hill had, but did not finish the game. Tyreek Hill yesterday, Stugotz. The Chiefs receivers on Thursday night, all of them, the Chiefs receivers, and they were terrible. I've got something for Mike on Tony because
Oh, he was bad.
on Kadarius Toney.
Cost them the game. Yeah.
That is Fast Twitch Energy Drink Player of the Week, powered by Gatorade. Kadarius Toney to you, sir.
Mike, Kadarius Toney on Thursday night,
Yeah, what about it? Barely noticed.
I believe had one reception for 1 yard,
Yeah.
one rushing attempt for -1 yard,
So bad.
4 drops, one of which resulted in a pick 6. Your Fast Twitch sponsored player of the game.
In light of new information, I'm willing to walk back some of my praise for Kadarius Toney. But don't forget, he showed up big time in that Super Bowl.
Mike, it was 14-7 when he did that.
was
Okay?
awful.
When he dropped the pass right in his hands, it went the other way. It was 14-14.
One of the worst
The
games I've
Chiefs
ever
were going to
seen.
make it 21-7. You love Kadarius Toney. It's odd how much you love the guy. I told you the next day I took you out in God Bless Football, and you said I deserved it.
I think I love him more now. Because that was hilarious.
I'm going to give the stats again. 1 reception for 1 yard, 1 rushing attempt for -1 yard, 4
Balance.
drops, one of which was returned for a touchdown.
He had the lowest wide receiver grade on PFF since 2018, which I think is when they started tracking it. So
Regardless, what I was saying is that all of the Chiefs receivers on Thursday night with Patrick Mahomes, Stugotz, had 135 yards.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill obviously had 211 yards. Stugotz, that's as well as you will ever see a wide receiver play football. 15 targets, 11 catches. Chris is not wrong when he says he was not open in the end zone, but he's always open.
Right. I mean, it was a perfect throw. But
Everyone was terrified when that throw got thrown.
But Chris, if it doesn't get completed, it's not going to get picked. Like, he's got that much
The DB just had to turn around. It was right there.
But Chris, what I'm saying to you is something that is very exciting for Dolphin fans is when Tua drops back to pass, he has the confidence, and you should too.
But he doesn't.
His guy is faster. His guy is faster, and it doesn't matter. He'll put the ball where it needs to be put because
You're talking about crack raft?
He's also good for throwing up one jump ball to Braxton Berrios in the end zone. We just have to live with that one.
Wait, but Chris, he is 460 yards into his day, and you're still questioning Tua?
Oh no, I'm not questioning
460 yards.
I'm just saying that result of that dime throw could have very easily been a terrible throw.
It's a ridiculous name. He's got 3 different words in his name. River raft crack.
I need Vic. Vic needs to come down from the booth. That's what I think the issue was yesterday.
That was the issue.
On the
It just
field?
doesn't look good in that booth. You're a D coordinator. I need you on the sideline pacing.
Yeah.
It's just there's just
Mixing it up with the
there's a-
players.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Talk to guys in between.
Yeah.
There's just something about being up in the booth. That's what we need to change. I need him down on the sideline this
Yep.
Sunday night.
Players want to feel, and I know this from coaching, okay? Players want to feel like you're in the game with them. They know that you're not, but they want to feel like you're kind of in the game, on the field. You're there. You're seeing what's going on. You're hearing what's
It's a
going
gag.
on.
you can see better from the coach's
Exactly
booth than
right.
the
Nah,
sideline.
You're not there.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you talking
They want to
about?
know you're
You
in
got to
it
be
with
there.
them.
Yeah.
This
In
is
the
a-
trenches.
This is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
River crack raft is the same age as Austin Hooper.
No way.
Can I put someone on notice, Dan?
We will in a second, but first, please put on the screen the Marlins bat boy.
Batman.
Oh, man.
This is great.
And you guys say he was spitting dip into that little container of water there? You're saying he was spitting dip into that?
Allegedly. I mean, I can't vouch for what's in it, but it appeared as if he was spitting something back into the bottle rather than drinking from the bottle
Is
when
this
I watched the
before?
video.
Is this before or after he mouthed "my bad"?
Yeah. That's what he said when he was explaining to what happened. He's like, my bad.
King.
Billy,
I'm in on the Marlins now because of this guy. Hey, I've been searching for something to connect
time.
to. I've been searching for a connection point.
Now you have it.
Every occasional Teal Friday, I feel it.
Pippin now is your
But,
connection point.
No, Batman is my connection point, and he needs to go down Champions Alley in downtown.
If we make the
deserves
playoffs,
ticker tape.
he throws first pitch if we make the playoffs.
Video,
the crowd.
video, put him back up again because I will ask Stugotz again. Aren't you supposed to be wearing a baseball uniform when you're a bat boy?
It seems like he just strolled into the stadium to watch the game with his family and decided he was going to be a bat boy.
He is wearing a batting helmet, a Marlins T-shirt of some sort, and
of a size that probably should be revisited.
I think we all know a guy
Not
like
making
this.
XLs like they used to, Mike.
This guy seems like the type of guy that everybody knows is like, this guy's just gonna do whatever he wants. Like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. That's whoever. He's cool. Like,
Put him
just let
down. Put him down first base. There's not that many lefties up.
and he's just wearing shorts. I don't even know how to describe the shorts.
Oh, huge breaking news.
Oh.
Jess has done some investigative reporting. Batman has a ponytail.
No.
Get out
There's
of
a
here.
ponytail
No.
hiding in that
Stop
batting helmet.
it.
No, Jessica.
No.
Jessica, that can't be true.
Just when you think he couldn't be more Meng.
You have been butt river cracked it. There's no way that can have a ponytail. That's got to be photoshopped.
No, there's a video of Jesus Sanchez giving him a hug to tell him that it's okay.
Yeah.
And he has his helmet off, and you can see his nice pony. He's got good hair.
All right, we got to talk to this guy. We got to find him. Sullivan, get on it. Let's find this bat boy and talk to him.
Just so I can add him to group chats, please. Batman.
Stugotz, just for the record, though, I do want to just go back for 1 second, real quick.
Okay.
because, we're going to spend this whole season dissecting the things that happen at the end of games. Like, so many things go into winning and losing. The Dolphins could have lost yesterday and whatever. It's still a hugely exciting game. And we're going to analyze microscopic calls and plays. What happened at the end of that first half, Stugotz, when the Chargers have tied the game at 17-17. And I just can't believe that Herbert did what he did and the timeout got called when it did, because Miami is now a team, and Staley should know this because he's got a similar offense. You cannot leave them time. Like, they are confident. They are more confident in offense than you are at defense. Their coach, they've worked together for a while now. These skill people are faster than anyone you have. That defensive pass interference and the way they used the clock at the end of that game, at the end of that half, was dumb.
How does Brandon Staley keep getting away with this? He's bad, man.
He wins just enough, Mike.
No, he that's the thing, though.
You remember the playoff
He's not.
games, too?
I know, but he made the
He
playoffs.
stinks.
Billy puts someone on notice. Next. it was a really fun football weekend. Stugotz, so many seasons for the Dolphins have started the way the Giants season started last night, where you're all excited, you've been waiting for months, and then you're the Steelers. And then you look up and the stat is 199 yards for San Francisco, 1 for the Steelers.
This feels a little different, though. Last season, remember the Ravens game? Remember I came in here and I was like, this is the most excited. It was new for me last year. This year, it comes with more, holy crap, we better win this time. Last season, I was just happy to be with a good offense. This season, you got to do something
We'll
now.
get to your oafish fandom in a second.
He's excited.
No,
Dan.
I'm nervous about the start if you're wondering about me, Dan.
I will get to your nervous fandom. We'll go nervous and oafish in a second. But I have been remiss in not allowing Billy more quickly the floor. I should have started the show here because it is not often around here that Billy Gill cares enough about anything to put someone on notice.
I'm pretty certain this is the first time he's putting someone on notice. He's never done it before.
In my life.
Yeah.
I love who he's becoming.
Yeah.
I'm falling in love with him.
I don't know.
I love football, Billy. I love the Duke.
Billy, you're a different person, okay?
I don't like this person.
I don't.
Come
well,
on,
you don't-
Duke. Talk to me.
You don't like. Is Stugotz going to make you hate football before he
I
is
told
done?
you I already hate
It's
football.
already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Are we cutting someone?
You
Are
hate
we,
No, we're not
football,
cutting
but you're
anyone.
putting someone on
Someone's
notice.
being put on notice.
Is
are we
it Fangs?
benching? Are we benching someone?
Is it Fangs till he goes on the sideline?
Putting someone on
Guys.
notice is not the behavior of someone who dislikes football.
Fangs
Thank you,
is someone
Mike.
we
Dookie.
could put Fangs on notice.
You don't understand how this is. You don't get it. We're not benching. We're not cutting. We're just putting someone on notice.
Right. But that's a big step for you.
It's a huge step,
Yeah.
Dookie.
I may take it one step further.
Wait a minute. We haven't. Wait a minute.
You're getting sexier by the moment.
Slow down. Billy, slow down. We haven't even gotten.
I'm gonna turn
Jason
around and-
Sanders, you're on notice.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
One in spite of him.
Oh, wow.
I love you, Duke.
I'm going to take it one step further. It's
What?
just week 1. Buck up, bucko.
Buck up, bucko.
You called him a bucko.
Oh my
after
God,
buck up.
Dan
Told him to
fainted.
Buck up. Yeah.
You didn't slip on those words.
If the
too.
Chargers drive down there, I mean,
Tongue
I am
twister.
cutting him today. Like,
Wait, Billy, buck up, bucko, buckaroo.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet, not yet.
Baby
Not yet.
steps,
Not
Jeff.
yet.
We're not all
baby
the way there
steps.
yet.
My bad.
This guy.
You were saying it last year at times.
I what? Thank you. Thank you for remembering that.
You were
Yes.
the first.
Last year I was saying this guy could potentially cost the
And the
Dolphins
only.
in the long run. He needs to really get it together. And guess what? He came back this season and did not get it together.
there's something about him, though. I just think he's going to make it every time.
He did have a nice one.
I don't know. There's just something about him I trust.
Yeah, but
Dan broke his
no,
headphones.
Don't trust him. No. The thing is, you can think he's going to make it every time. But his job is to make it every time. Make it every time. Rodrigo Blankenship is out there. Don't think we're afraid to go get him.
I can't believe what just happened. You blew my earphones off. You not only put him on notice, but then you went the next step of doing what?
I told him, buck up, bucko.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Because
And he
week
let him.
one.
He let
Yeah.
him know Blankenship is out there as well.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if that's true, but he's always
It
out
is
there.
true. He was just waived, but it's week one. How is this going to escalate?
Because this is a recurring thing, Dan, that carried over from last season. You guys give everybody a clean slate. Not me, friend. Not when he's supposed to be making field goals. That's his job. I remember all the missed field goals last year.
Jim Nance?
Horrible. 50-plus yards of field goals last year. I remember. I didn't forget. They're going to need a reliable kicker, and he's not that right now. That's not it. He missed an extra point. Those are freebies. He could have cost them the game had that blue screen not come and made that sack happen.
What do Billy and Chris feel? Because I would say that generally speaking, and there are receipts here, this show has been, Stugotz, on the wrong side for 2 years of, well, who looks better to you, Herbert or Tua? Who looks like they've got a better future? And this show fell in love with the giant arm.
Chris Cody was a Charger fan.
That's
Chris
not.
Cody
That was
said he
Yeah,
liked
he
the
was.
Chargers.
That was
You
just
remember
doing a
Charger
thing.
Chris?
That was
For
just
half
doing
the
a
season.
thing.
Yeah.
Just
I
jazzing
remember
it.
that.
Mhm.
What happened to
Wait.
those swim trunks,
That was a
Chris?
fake thing.
I got to side with Tuanon here. We're not welcome over there. Tuanon was right and we were wrong.
We?
Yes, we.
Yeah, who's we, though?
I always loved him like a brother.
Yeah.
Billy ordered a jersey last year.
It's framed on my wall. I can't even wear it anymore. Unless I wear the frame, that's really weird.
Yeah, you cut a hole out in it. We talked about this.
Why can't you even wear it anymore?
Well, because it's framed. Unless I get
framed,
like a wire
yeah.
hanger and wear a frame around my
Well,
neck.
it's framed, Dan.
Since you
That's-
bought,
No wire
I have
hangers.
this right, correct? You bought the Tua jersey and they lost all their remaining games.
No, you have that completely wrong. What are you talking about? I bought the jersey after the Baltimore game last year. Well, if we're going to be honest, I bought the white jersey first, and I got the wrong
Forgive
size.
me. You
and that was
got
a
the
whole
jersey.
thing.
By the
Yeah,
time you
yeah.
got the jersey,
Yeah.
they lost all their remaining games.
I don't remember it that way.
Better be careful. He just put someone on notice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly right. Yeah, what's going on? I felt
You'll be
bad.
next.
because
I
Dan
mean-
looks disheveled. He went over there. He tripped on Greg's roller or something. He hurt himself. I don't know what's
Broke
going
your
on.
headphones.
Looks
Well,
like he
it's-
has a cute dangly earring on.
Billy caring about sports. So much to put someone...
I'm just composed, Dan. I care about things. I just don't let the world know it.
Well, I've never seen this side of you, and again, I will say it's week 1. Let's go to the oafish Dolphin fan for his perspective, because he came in here careening sideways today, saying, I've got so much shit on the Dolphins.
I don't want to be hyperbolic, but the Dolphins aren't going to lose in America till Thanksgiving.
You have them losing at Thanksgiving. Well, they play
The day,
Black Friday.
the day
yeah.
after
And
Thanksgiving.
you have them losing
To the Jets?
That's just a
Frankfurt.
chant. That's just the first one where I have to think about it.
Right.
Remember, they're going to go to Germany. We might lose
Yep,
there to
the
Kansas
Chiefs.
City. We have to just don't worry about that
But
one.
I mean, they are running into
There's
my
a
fast
chance-
twitch energy player of the
There's
week.
a chance they don't lose at 1 p.m. until Christmas.
I love this. No, we're just
Now
1
it's just
p.m.
1
windows.
p.m.
Wait, what if they get flexed?
I like this. This is analytics.
Okay.
I did a deep dive on the schedule, and I don't see a lot of losses, folks.
Yeah.
In your defense, the 1 p.m.s are Denver, Buffalo, the Giants, Carolina. I think you're right.
Now, in the next few weeks, they go to Buffalo and to Philly. Those are tough. I'm not going to say that those are easy. But if you win those, you're looking at 9-2, folks.
But in fairness, no, they would lose those games, yeah.
Well, Philly's 8:20 Sunday night.
They have 2 Sunday night road games at New England and at Philly, and both of those are happening before, Thanksgiving. I thought you said they're not going to lose in the United
And
States.
that's because they play in Germany.
No, you changed.
And then they play the
changed
Jets
it.
on
Changed
Amazon.
it.
I
They
got
might,
it.
You
o'clock.
changed
and then
it.
they play the Jets
That's
on
what
Amazon. They might not lose on CBS till New Year's.
Okay.
I thought you said he had a lot of good stuff. I mean,
Yeah, so he did say that. Chris, go sit
Someone
in the
needs
Did I
to
say
vet
Vic?
this
Go sit in the
stuff.
penalty
Did I
box.
say Vic Fangio
No,
needs
that-
to come down
go
from the
sit in
booth
penalty
yet?
box. Go sit in the
Wait,
penalty
maybe there's
you
more
did. I
in there,
agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
box. Go ahead and get out of here.
You got
You're
it.
out of material?
You said you had a bunch
Looking
of good
through his
stuff.
notes app right
Get
now.
out of here.
More like Justin Hubert.
He said he had a lot of good stuff.
Right.
Someone needs
wasn't
to vet
lying.
it, yeah.
He couldn't wait to get ISO. He was calling for the ball. He was calling for the
You
ball.
were talking
Posting
about
Billy up, yeah.
something else, and he jumped in with the Dolphins.
Yeah,
thing.
but this is the general incompetence that we have happening around here.
I
and
just got the
need-
Hubert thing.
Still don't.
I need our sponsorships. I believe that we just got done. Stugotz, these things that we do now are very valuable, okay? They're having your own content, having your own audience. The sponsorship that this show gets is better than anybody in podcast sports because having your own audience has that kind of value. I want to explain to the audience that Mike Ryan debuted a sponsor last week. Debuted a sponsor and gave that sponsor, stapled to that sponsor, a player who that night had 1 catch for 1 yard, 1 rushing attempt for -1 yards,
Right.
had 4 drops, one of which was a great throw by Mahomes that was returned for a pick 6 because it was one of his drops. That is how we onboarded a sponsor.
And it got freezing cold taked. Yeah. Incredible. Now I'm being told they are no longer sponsoring the Fast Twitch Energy Player
That's
of the
it?
Week.
It's over, huh?
Which means congratulations to Kadarius Toney.
That's
the
unbelievable.
only winner
Way to go.
of the
That's- I mean,
prestigious
it's just
Fast
staggering.
Twitch Energy
It's-
Drink Player of the Week presented by
Way
Gatorade.
to go.
Is getting aggregated by freezing cold takes mean that they got like higher on their
Yes.
engagement than they would have?
Yes, incredible. You're welcome.
We had to do
Well
the
done.
same feature on God Bless Football, and I chose Jamar Chase.
He was, when you consider expectations, he had a great quote.
We'll get
it's like I called them the elves, and we got beat by the elves.
Yes. We'll get to all of the football later in the show, but I do want to concentrate locally on both of the football teams because we have not yet gotten to the University of Miami. In Miami, Mike has poured his soul and his money into that program. And so after all of us laughing at him for a year, that had to feel pretty good to drag Texas A&M. That's an expensive coach they've got. They've got a lot of good players. That offensive line was big. That's a big-ass offensive line. Like that, they're trying to be. When Jimbo Fisher went there, it was to counter what Saban is. No, watch what we do with Texas A&M money. Texas A&M doesn't have any right to be in this game. But, like, no right to be in this game. But Johnny Manziel built a bomb there.
Well, they've always had great support. They have a lot of oil tycoons.
He made so much. Manziel made so much money for the school that they got into the game by getting the most expensive coach, a coach who can't build quarterbacks, a coach who's now behind because, oh, wow, look at that. Miami's got more athletes than they do.
This is a Texas A&M program that 2 years ago had the greatest recruiting class of all time. And they've had a lot of years under Jimbo Fisher to get their program in order. And I don't think the score was indicative of the kind of ass-kicking that was. Miami gifted them 17 points via special teams until they had a kickoff return themselves. They bullied them. They bullied them at the line of scrimmage, and it was really encouraging to see the path. They're probably going to lose a handful of games this year, and there's going to be some frustrations and growing pains, and there were already injuries stemming from that game. And for this system to truly work under Coach Cristobal, we're going to need to stack classes. But within year two, to top a team that 2 years ago had the most resources, had the greatest recruiting class of all time, that is a huge encouraging step.
But a team that last year was 5-7, so
yeah, just like us. But that there was so much on the line for these two teams headed into this game. It was really interesting for that reason. And Miami's O-line held up against when you're talking measurables, against a D-line that measured right up there with them. And when you look at composite ratings, more talented than them.
you have to give it to Tuanon today, correct?
Yes.
Tuanon wins today because it's not just that game. It's that game against that quarterback.
Yep.
It's the way that game ended against that quarterback. Again, the Dolphins have value at the position. A lot of people got paid at the position. Joe Burrow had 82 yards yesterday. He's the highest paid player in the league. The way these things fall apart is you can't keep your skill guys as value because the sport is super, super wealthy. It is commerce that is unheard of, but ridiculously, they have a salary cap. And the salary cap makes all of the games close.
They'll have to pay him eventually, obviously, Dan. It's going to be a lot of money, and we'll see if he stays healthy this year.
But Stugotz, you say obviously, okay? But as recently as a game ago,
right?
One game ago,
yes.
You'd be like, well, do you want to sign him up? Because he's still got that brains thing. And it's been one game. Like as recently as one game ago, it's not obvious that you give him the money.
Well, I said obviously he has to stay healthy in order to get that money. And that's a big if. And we'll see if he can stay healthy or healthier this season. I'm just surprised and shocked at this point because the sample size is large enough where people are surprised that this is what Tua is. He's accurate. Mike McDaniel said he's the most accurate quarterback he's ever seen. Tyreek Hill said he's the best quarterback that he's ever played with, and yet we still seem surprised.
Most accurate.
Most accurate. I'm sorry.
Most accurate.
And yet we still seem surprised when he makes throws like he made yesterday late in that game. We're surprised by it. Chris Cody is a Dolphin fan, and he's saying it was lucky.
There has been a mistrust for good reason, man.
He didn't say lucky. He said it was a bad throw.
Yeah, he did. That was really terrible. He had the good stuff today.
Oh, you all loved that throw. When it left his hand, you all loved it. You were like, "Great decision, too." I'm really happy with this.
I trust him.
Earlier in the game, he threw it up to Braxton Berrios, interception, and that time you guys were just good with it.
I don't like that throw in Germany, but in the United States, I love it.
That's
Zagak.
Chris,
Thanksgiving.
This is what I tell you in the huddle. All right. Hey, Chris Cody, this play here, we're gonna throw it to Tyreek Hill 1-on-1. You good?
What channel's it on?
The play for the game is Tua throws it to Tyreek Hill 1-on-1. Did you like the call? Yes or no?
Not if he has to jump for it. If he's got some space, maybe.
It's their best play. It's the unstoppable
You guys
one.
can play the results. I'm going to sit here and
I'm
going to trust my analysis.
As soon as he threw it up, that's PI is what I was thinking. I'm like, that's a good play. It'll cause a PI and we'll just get the ball at the one.
That was best case for me. I was like, please be a penalty.
Chris, let me explain to you. When you say there's no such thing as bad football, there's no such thing as bad throws to Tyreek Hill on one-on-one. Like those, that's a good play to call. Why? Because he's obviously faster than everyone in a league where everyone is inordinately superhuman fast.
I have a question just to kind of so we're crystal clear on what's going on here today. Are you, Dan, officially declaring it is over? Right. Tua is better than Justin
You said
Herbert.
Tuanon's right today. Are you saying debate over?
Forever. Yeah. Have you ended this debate?
No, I am not doing that.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
Right.
Did you watch the game?
Are you sure you don't want to do that?
Today's the day.
I am positive that I do not want to do that. This show,
Weird.
Look, man, we
Get
got
him, Tuanon.
We got a bunch of frauds here. Ain't a person in here, not a one, that was making the argument at any point on behalf of Tua over Herbert as a skill set. Nobody. We were not having the conversation, what would you rather have, the big arm or the guy who's more accurate? Because we did not trust the accuracy. Now you have to trust the accuracy. And also, his guys are really open. The scheme, Stugotz, I said it before, it's not just that he's good. More explosive plays than a team has had in a game since 2014? Like that's the combination of our guys are faster than yours and our quarterback's really accurate.
You know what else it is? It factor.
That's it.
Just that little something. You can't put your finger on it.
Yeah, you can't.
Depending on what network it is on. And
At what time the game
4
is.
p.m.
Right.
And if it's before or after Thanksgiving.
Man, do I hate when my team plays in the 4 p.m. window.
Why?
Because the 1 p.m. window is the window when I want to be intense for football. 4 p.m. is for like lay on the couch,
Try to wind down,
nap time. Maybe I doze off for a little bit. Oh, Broncos Raiders. What? Up? I woke up.
Yeah,
No.
but it's usually the bigger games, right? Some of the bigger games of the week are placed there. Plus, it was West Coast. Who
Not for
cares?
me. Usually we're at 1 o'clock. I like the 1 o'clock slot.
Right.
I don't like it because I'm always going to be intense for the 1 o'clock games, even if the Dolphins aren't there. And then I got to be intense for the Dolphins game. I was gross yesterday.
You know what? I'm with you because I hated the fact that the Jets were not part of Sunday. Like, I have to wait till Monday night. And nothing that happened yesterday gave me any sort of confidence in the Jets tonight. Not Jordan Love. I sat there watching the Dolphins, and I said to myself, it doesn't matter how good the Jets look on Monday night, if they look good at all. It ain't going to look that good.
Our division.
Yeah.
You ain't coming for shit.
Yeah.
Oh, now look who he is. Jessica, it's just gotten started. You got annoyed with our Heat talk. It's one game, and listen to them. And again, I will remind you, this is a crew that did not believe Tua was better than Herbert.
False.
I'm pretty sure Jessica's a Dolphins fan now. Do you see her
That's
teams?
right.
I need something. You know what, Dan? They earned it this weekend. Played in a prime slot, not prime time, but a prime slot, the 4:25 West Coast game.
Yep.
Beat the Chargers. I'm not very high on Staley. I think he didn't get enough flack for the way their season ended last year, but they still went in there and got the job done, Dan. And they look like they have one of the most dynamic offenses in the AFC.
Well,
right now.
this is the thing. It's not just the getting of the job done, though, because that's one thing. It's not even just winning. Like, both of those two things would be things that Miami fans would be happy with. It's the announcement yesterday in one of those primetime games to everybody. Again, Stugotz, Tua is not paid the way the guys. Burrow got the highest contract ever, and they announced that the night of the very beginning of Chiefs Detroit. Here's our season. Look at this contract. Tua's one of the cheap guys. It's not just that they won yesterday. It's that everyone in the league can now see, wait a minute, Tyreek Hill can just take the Chiefs offense with him to Miami?
They won a Super Bowl without him, I mean.
Yeah, but you understand.
Which is amazing.
No, but you understand what I'm saying.
What Daniel's part of that pie chart?
What I'm saying to you is everyone is on notice now. Wait, the Dolphins' offense might actually be as explosive as the Chiefs' offense.
You're putting people on notice? Oh.
Welcome to the party.
I can't take two of these.
Not me. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you that everyone listening to this who's a Dolphin fan and everyone who's a football fan noticed yesterday that the Dolphins' offense looks like the Chiefs. That's not what it was supposed to be. Tyreek, it was not supposed to be something that looked space age, that looks faster and more open than the other teams, where you're watching and you're like, I don't know how they schemed that little wheel route, but there's Ingold for an easy 20 yards because that was the easiest play in the world.
Smythe, too. He came out of nowhere yesterday.
And it all turns like it can be do you realize that next Monday, Stugotz, we can be talking about, it's unhealthy for him to play. He shouldn't be
Not
playing.
today, Dan. Don't do that.
Not today.
What are you doing?
Mike Gesicki probably saw those routes that Smythe was running and all the action he's getting. He's like, you get rid of me, and now you start throwing to the tight end.
I miss Gesicki yesterday.
I don't. He can go.
I mean, Smythe was fine, though.
But I wanted Gesicki running through the seam.
Where's Cedric Wilson? What a weird signing that was. He's just like Kraft's out there. Everyone's out there over Wilson.
Wilson's on the IR.
Mike,
What do you mean?
Mike, how about your Berrios? I mean, are you moved as a U guy to watch Berrios out there doing things? He's doing the little catches with the
Berrios
hands.
is a gamer, man.
He's an absolute gamer, number 0.
He's got guts.
And I love that he's back down in Miami.
Yeah.
Character issues, though.
Can we start calling Chris Cricody?
What channel's our game on?
Chris Cody, you said you had all the good stuff. Did we blow through all of it?
Stugotz, Cedric Wilson, healthy scratch Sunday.
That's
IR. I have him on my fantasy team.
He's on your IR.
Got a free sub.
Doesn't mean he's on the IR.
Billy.
Hey.
How should Chris Cody feel?
Fangio's got to come down from the booth, though. I'm telling you, that's the answer.
That's your big take, huh?
I combine Fick and Fangio.
Right. That and, the Ingold catches.
The Ingold catches. Man, do I love football.
The Zeller minutes.
I don't have pants on.
Billy,
Hey.
Chris Cody said he had a lot of good Dolphins.
I know. He does have a lot of notes. I saw on his phone. He has a lot of notes. I don't know if they're
I'm
good.
so
There's a lot of
seamless. I
notes.
give it to you without you even noticing it. Like, I worked it all in. It's not like, hey, Chris, go on the Dolphins. I was just telling you, Dan, I am fired up. I could talk for 2 months about this team. I listened to 4 Dolphins podcasts this morning on the way in. I am all in.
I want to hear you talk about it for 2 months.
They're good.
I'm nervous. I don't like that everyone's high on the Dolphins. I don't like everyone's high on the team. I don't like everyone's high on Tua. I don't like it. I don't like when everyone likes the things that I like. I don't like it at all.
But
Billy, same. When everyone was saying the Steelers were going to be good this year, that's when I knew
makes me nervous.
it was going to be bad.
You
And
can't
guess what? I was
expect
right.
Vic's defense to just be perfect week 1, though. Like, it's going to, like, 3 weeks from now. Plus, it's also going to look so much better when we're playing the Patriots. Like, that offense, we could say everything we want about the Chargers. That offense is really good. Yeah. So, I'm going to give them a pass for this week. But next week, the Dolphins' defense against Mac Jones is going to look a lot better.
What about this Brandon Staley? That took a
He
quick
needs
fall, right?
He just his hat. He needs a better hat too. He like.
That's not the.
I'm telling you,
What's wrong with his
you
better
got to
hat?
look the part. Mike McDaniel looks cool
No, but-
on the
no,
sideline.
wait a
There is
minute.
something to just
Wait a
looking
minute,
cool
wait a
on the
minute,
sideline.
wait a
Mike
minute.
Tomlin looks
Just
so
wait a minute.
cool.
Come on.
Brandon Staley looks like he's got the hat. He's got the brim is too bent. I'm telling you, he needs a cooler look. Obviously, he's got to be a better coach, but the look is not working either.
McDaniel's now cool. That's what
No,
what offense does.
When
You're
you
gonna,
win,
you're
you
gonna
look
do
cool.
the thing and say
Yeah.
he doesn't look cool on the sideline. You're gonna say he doesn't look cool.
He looked cool when the get back coach was getting him back. I will say.
He's
He looked
sneaky
cool.
good looking. He is.
Oh,
Look.
guys.
Yeah.
I love anybody who's authentically themselves. I love how much nerd
Feels
he
like a
has
put-on.
in him. And you think it's a put on? You think he's a fraud?
I didn't. Whoa! I would never say that about Mikey. I did not say that he's a fraud. You said that, not me. I will just say people were talking by the water cooler last week, saying, you know what? Tries a little bit too hard to be the cool guy. How about we just try to win games? That's a comment that happened right out there, right in the commissary.
Stephen A. Smith said the other day, he said, I don't like this guy. He talks too much. Just shut up and coach football.
Stephen A. doesn't like someone who talks too much. That's like me not liking someone who lies.
My guy was at Boulder this past weekend. He was at the University of Colorado.
How do the Dolphins have a center who's thought to be good, but he can't snap the ball? It's all I hear on the broadcast. This Connor Williams, good center. He struggles with the snapping, though. It's like, put him at guard then.
Stephen A.